Hello and how's it going, everybody? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest next-gen gaming news, and the news we're talking about today is related to Bethesda Game Studios because I recently found some evidence to suggest what they're going to be focusing on in their future next-gen game titles such as Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6. And as always, I'm going to be recording my screen, that way you can see that my bullshit capacity meter is always running at 0%, and that way you can look this information up for yourself to make sure it is legit. And in a lot of previous videos, I provided evidence to suggest that Bethesda Game Studios is indeed working on a new next-gen game engine, or at least massively upgrading their current one to the point to where it won't even barely be recognizable anymore by the time that the next generation of gaming technology, that PS5 and then Xbox, whatever, actually comes out. But today I found some actual job listings that can show us what Bethesda Game Studios is paying extra attention to and what they want to improve in terms of their game engine. And we're gonna start right here. This is actually on ZeniMax's official job listing website, and this is under the Bethesda Game Studios Rockville, Maryland job listings. And if you don't know, Bethesda Game Studios' office in Rockville, Maryland is their main development studio where Todd Howard is, and where most of Bethesda Game Studios games are made, at least the ones that we all know of. Now, if we look at this list, we can first notice that there's a lot less jobs on here than what I've shown in the past. Anytime I've shown these Bethesda Game Studios job listings in the past, there's been at least like 20 to 30 of these. So I found this along with other evidence to suggest that Bethesda Game Studios has been hiring several people over the course of the last month, which is kind of interesting, but may not necessarily mean anything, at least on its own. But a lot of these job listings can give us a little bit of a picture as to what Bethesda Game Studios is paying special attention to. And right here you can see level designer, physics programmer, graphics programmer, game programmer, concept artist. But the one we're talking about today, and this job listing has actually been posted in the last week, is this job listing right here, physics programmer. And when you look at this, it's just a normal job listing. Nothing particularly stands out about this other than they're looking for talented people who have experience with the Havok's physics engine, which is interesting because Todd Howard has been saying that one thing Bethesda Game Studios is going to be paying particular attention to is their animations, and one thing the Havok engine does, as well as physics, is help game animations. So maybe Bethesda Game Studios is doing a massive overhaul to both the animations and the physics, which would be awesome because the physics and the animations have definitely been one of the most wonkiest things in Bethesda Game Studios games. I mean, it doesn't allow you to actually use ladders. Anytime they try to animate an NPC using a ladder, it always causes some sort of issue. So hopefully Bethesda can fix putting stuff on shelves and people being able to use ladders. But all jokes aside, this is a very good sign that Bethesda Game Studios knows what their main issues are with their current game engine, and they're going to pay particular attention on improving that. But one thing that kind of stood out to me is I looked for any other job listings along with this physics programmer in Rockville, Maryland, which I've said is their main development studio, and there is actually another physics programmer job listing, but it's actually for Bethesda Game Studios in Austin, Texas. At least I would think it's in Austin, Texas, but it says it's in Hunt, Texas. Now you can see this too was posted 6 days ago, which means that this job listing is just as recent as this one, which was posted 12 days ago. But like I said, this is in Austin, Texas, but it says Hunt, Texas, and I looked up where Hunt, Texas was to see if maybe it was right outside of Austin, Texas, and this was Bethesda Game Studios' way of trying to hide their job listing, or maybe try and conceal it a little bit more as to what it might exactly be related to, because if it's in Bethesda Game Studios Austin, it's probably related to Fallout 76, but I looked up where Hunt, Texas is, and it's actually 2 hours away from Austin, Texas, so that doesn't really make much sense. This maybe could be a typo. Maybe that's why it says this job listing expired, but still it doesn't make much sense to me that they'd be looking for a physics programmer in Hunt, Texas when their game studio is located in Austin, Texas. But what does make sense to me is that they have multiple job listings for physics programmers all around Bethesda Game Studios as a whole, in Maryland, in Austin, and Dallas. That way they can improve the actual physics and animation and game engine for the next generation of their games to come across their entire studio. But as always, I want to know what you have to say about all of this. Let me know down in the comments below, and if your comment wins the internet and make it featured in a future video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay in the know about next-gen gaming news and just gaming news in general. Follow me over on Twitter for the latest channel updates and random shit about me. Check me out on Twitch, where I am a Twitch affiliate, and I soon will have a streaming schedule set up. Come over to the channel Discord server chat room, where there is always an awesome and active conversation taking place. And if you want to have your hand in providing future content and protecting the channel from bullshit video takedowns, then consider subscribing to the community on Patreon, where you can earn unique and awesome awards. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when they're looking for Todd Howard version 2.0.
Bye, have a great time.